you're a short-term investor, hold if you're a long-term player in the market. Sangeeta has dialed in from Noida. How can we help you, Sangeeta?
Yeah, hi. I was I wanted your opinion on two particular projects which I was looking at. This is the Mahagun Woods project and the Mahagun Mantra project. Now I have a budget of around 40 to 50 lakhs for particularly with an investment point of view in mind. I've been offered a flat in Mahagun Woods Phase 3 Part 2, which is the projected possession is sometime in 2019. So I wanted your opinion on which of these projects would be a better investment proposal, and if there are any other projects which I might look into as well.
Sangeeta, how long are you willing to hold on to this project? You mentioned it is for investment. How soon do you want returns, and how long are you willing to hold on to it?
Possibly I would like to see my returns appearing sometime within maybe a 5-year span or something.
Okay, so you'll hold on at least for 5 years.
Yes.
Yes. So she's looking at a 5-year horizon, and she's given you a choice of two projects here, Mahagun Mantra and Mahagun Woods.
Yeah.
Which should she pick?
I must thank you for having done that job of mine, because I wanted to ask that question. So, first of all, for Sangeeta, look, to talk about Mahagun, you need to understand Mahagun actually creates products in 3 different categories. One is called, as they call it, the affordable segment, then the mid segment, and finally the luxury segment. These projects, Mahagun themselves actually call them the affordable products, and they are selling very well in the market. Now, each of those, Mantra as well as Woods, they have their own characteristics and specialties. If you look at Mantra, it's a product which is along Greater Noida Expressway, so the access is quite okay. It's a relatively mid-sized project, about 1,500 units or so. At the same time, Woods is in a slightly different location, slightly further away, but it is a very, very large project, 6,500 units. The only thing is that Woods, Phase 1, Phase 2 are actually getting within a couple of months or 3 months from now. Phase 3 will also come up, like you said. Mantra is going to take more than 12 months from here. So, if it is an investment that you want to make at a very early price, then probably I would say, go for Mantra. Although Mantra as of now has a slight delta premium over Woods, but it might grow even more. Woods is something which is ready, so it is something which you'll get immediately, and you can keep it for long term as well. So it's a very difficult toss up between the two. However, if you were to go just by my gut, where I always say, if the project is ready, if it is moving towards completion, and you can be slightly early in the curve, I would go for Mantra. If you want to go for a very large development, very self-integrated kind of a development, then Woods is your call. So, I would like to choose Mantra. You could choose Woods based on these considerations. You said, if there are other projects, well, that market is full of all kinds of projects that we've always spoken of. I'll just name a couple of them and a couple of other developers that you could look at. So you have Supertech Eco Village, which is not very far from Mantra. You're just across the Tech Zone 4, so you will actually find quite a few. You have Amrapali, you have Stellar's project, you have Gaur City. So, even if you started looking at one of the websites, maybe Times Group's Magic Bricks, you will find probably 3 dozen projects. So you could choose any of them depending on the pricing that you mentioned, 50-60 lakhs or so. But try and choose something which is getting completed in a visible time frame.
Arvind, also it's very interesting. She's chosen the same developer, but she's looking at Noida Extension and she's looking at Greater Noida. So there are 2 locations that are not very far apart, but they are 2 different locations, 2 different micro markets over here. Which is a better micro market from an investment point of view?
Well, it's not an easy question to answer, but I would always, in such difficult situations, I would go by that market which is more closely linked to a major infrastructure node or a major infrastructure spine. In this case, it could be Noida Greater Noida Expressway. So I would like to be closer to that, because if the development happens, if the economic engine starts heating up, the first impact is on those infrastructure nodes or things that are closer to them. But overall, it's a monolithic, it's a very large market. You could have various other considerations. For example, if there is any other activity, economic activity in the vicinity, that could become better. So there are several considerations. If everything is equal, I would rather go by the main roads and the main access.
So now you confuse her more because you said that you would rather opt for Mahagun Mantra.
Yeah.
Which
And Mantra actually has...
incidentally is in Noida.
No, that doesn't matter. It has Noida and Greater Noida Expressway.
Is beside it.
Yeah. So, it's not far from there.
So that's the verdict there. From an infrastructure perspective, Mahagun Mantra scores. From a delivery perspective, also Mahagun Mantra scores because you are liable to get delivery much faster over here. My Woods, for that matter, great project, great development, but it is 1 year away from delivery still.
Only the last phase that she's speaking.
The last phase, the phase that you're particularly talking about. So those are how both the projects stack up. Now, at the end of the day, that's a call that you need to take. But like Arvind said, his pick is Mahagun Mantra.